I don't know if we should watch this one or the other one that he just came out. I saw Kodak
So
Black
white
on it.
supremacists, they are very funny to me.
Rappers sell out the black community. Because I did see with the whole Nicki Minaj shit, obviously, my sister, obviously. You know, unfortunate. Unfortunate. But it is what it is. I did have this one saved. Because this one's about the cells at the ends. Talk some sense into her. I have nothing I can do with that, bruh.
To me, and to be honest, I feel sad.
To be fair, I don't really know much of what actually was going on with that. Because I don't really, y'all know I don't really be paying attention to that shit. So, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say, bruh. I don't know what you want me to say.
For a lot of them. I love this picture right here, okay?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up to this one. Because I do wanna watch this one instead. We was gonna watch this one, but we're gonna watch this one instead. Because it might be more in line to what's going on. Because I also did see.
Today we're going to be talking about a lot of rappers and how they are some of the biggest sellouts. The whole rap game is in shambles right now. You know, I recently did a video on the whole rap fatigue situation. It's not real, by the way, but I can say that a lot of people are tired of the mainstream rappers. And that is a whole different, you know, reason right there. So Kodak Black, we're going to be talking about him first.
I know y'all from Africa too. I just hate the Africans who act like y'all better than love and like we y'all Africa should have never sold us, bro. Bro, feel people, bro, why you think slavery go good, bro? I'm not mad at slavery, bro, because white people are enslaving people too. You know what, bro? Black people.
Oh, man. Ah! That shit actually making my head itch, bro. I'm gonna be honest. You got it, man. I know.
People, bro, we pussy as bro. I'm gonna say that.
Kodak, bro, have you ever opened up a history book or even did some research for yourself? The whole theory that Africans sold other Africans, bro, it is not true at all. Let's go to school right fast. This right here is a picture of Africa before it was invaded by Europeans. You see, just like now, Africans didn't view all of them the same. And let me give you a better example. In Europe, you had the British, the French, the Spaniards. They were all white, but they didn't consider themselves all white. Africa was the same way. Now, let's go back to the picture. As you can see, there are multiple different, you know, cliques, tribes, communities, whatever you want to call them. And by the way, Africa is extremely huge, okay? The way they put it on the map does.
To be fair, it's literally impossible to. It's literally impossible to even like map Africa for real, if we're going to be honest. Which is kind of crazy, because like I feel like Africa might be the least. I mean, I guess depending on where you're from, obviously, but I'm just speaking for America. Africa, unironically, might be the least known country out of all countries that are taught here, if that makes sense. I feel like Africa is probably like niggas literally dead ass think Africa is just a country and not an actual whole continent. Unironically, people dead ass think that Africa is a whole country and not even a whole continent of different countries inside of them. The education system is definitely bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Give it justice. Now, the same way the Europeans were battling each other and, you know, fighting for goods,
now, we'll say though,
whatever the reason is, the same thing was happening in Africa. So when these different tribes would battle with each other, the losers would get taken as slaves. Now, this is the thing. The slavery that was practiced during this time versus chattel slavery are completely different. Majority of the time, the slavery that was going on in Africa was pretty much like indentured servants. It was nowhere near as brutal. You could work your way out, pay your way out, and it was just a common practice at the time, not justifying it, by the way. Chattel slavery, on the other hand, we all know how bad and brutal it was. 400 years of that nonstop, you couldn't get out. I'm talking about we was getting aid fed to alligators. Like, y'all noticed.
That is insane. Nigga, what? And this is from a person who studied history. And what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Because I had a minor in history, and it's like the one thing that they will always say, like, especially when it comes to like slavery, like it was very cut and dry. Like it was very like, yeah, so niggas got sold to other niggas, and then they got shipped to other places, and they just were slaves, and then Abraham Lincoln freed slaves for Americans, and that's it. People don't even really tell you all the intricacies of like what actually really happened. Now, I will say, because I know people may not agree with me, I don't really like when people say everybody were slaves. Because if you actually know history, you know that is definitely not true. Now, you can say a vast majority of, every country and continent had people that were enslaved, different levels of slavery, right? Yes. But not every singular culture of people were slaves or enslaved. That's just not true. And if we're going to be honest, and this may sound whatever niggas want to say, the largest groups of people who were slaved are always dark-skinned people, no matter what context it is. That is actually literally true. You can no matter what you know what I mean, no matter what you look at, it's always been dark-skinned people, specifically, if we're gonna be honest, niggas. Like, I don't understand why people think that it's like, and you know what's crazy? People just love to refute that fact because it's not easy on the ears, but it's like, it's literally true though. In every civilization you can think of, niggas have always been slaves, and for long periods of time. I literally found out because of this man right here, right? Shout out Antonio. Because even I didn't know this. There was a video I watched of him. There was this guy, I forgot his name, but there was this guy who literally came to Africa and basically was a worse mustache man. He killed over, I think he killed over 10. Yeah, King Leopold, I think it was, right? He literally killed just as much, if not even more, people in the Holocaust. I didn't know that. And they were all niggas. He was the king of Belgium and killed millions of Congolese. Yeah, he killed a lot of Congolese people. Like over 10 million plus. I think, if not more. They said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he killed more people than the mustache man killed during the Holocaust era. And he would torture a lot of them too. There's pics of literal children with their hands cut off. Yeah, I heard that there was a lot of. First of all, let's just really keep it at 1,000 stacks. First of all, I'm gonna be honest. The things that people would do to innocent people, especially like the kids and shit, is actually crazy. Like the things that were told but never really taught at all whatsoever. That is crazy. Like, bro, they were out here literally making furniture with these people. Like actual furniture and shit. Well, yeah, that's a given though, Ayo. That's obviously they don't consider like them humans. They never did. Like they literally thought they were, which is once again just a bunch of stupid shit, because it's like, bro, we are all human. I just don't understand how this mind virus even came to be. I never understood it because it's like, how you as a human being can look at another human being and deem them literally less than. I don't understand that. Like, you literally consider them something that is not you, and y'all have literally the same thing. It's like, I just never got that. But it's just insane that you can also treat people this way. And you will wonder why. Like, I will always say this, and I mean it in wholeheartedly. Like, we as humans are literally the worst thing to ever exist on this planet. I don't care. Because if you ever see the things that we have done to even our own people, our own, not even just our own people, our own species of people, other species, other animals, we are literally the cancer of this world. It's just crazy how how all this has happened. And yet only a majority of people know this. And it's just like, we are really horrible organisms. I'm sorry. You can say self-hating or whatever. Nigga, we are literally the worst type of organism to exist in this world. Like, dead ass. We are literally cancer. Because you can never have no equivalent of a mustache man in any other species or a King Leopold or whatever. No, we aren't. We are literally the reason why this planet is going the way that it's going. There is no mustache man version of an ant. And even if there was, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Which I don't think there is, but like really think about that. It may sound goofy, but really think about that. There's literally no Epstein version of like a koala. That's all I'm saying, bro. We are really horrible. I debate, but I play Super Meat Boy because there's no debating that because you know it's true.
Stuff. Now, I am Black American, but I always give my props and my roots tie back to Africa. One thing I hate about a lot of these FBA dudes or whatever you want to call them, they love flexing that 10% of European DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes are no different from a lot of the white supremacists. They colorists. They love saying that I don't look African. Whole time they be looking African as hell. And like I said, it just seems like they're flexing that 10% of European DNA. And I want to say another thing. Contrary to belief, the Africans actually did try to fight to get us back. They don't teach.
Wait, what does FBA mean? I'm a little ignorant to that. What does he mean by FBA? I know Black, I'm Dominican. Oh, Foundation Black American. What does that even mean? Wait, what? Black Americans that deny they're African in any way. Oh, fundamental. Okay, yeah. I've never. That's weird. I never heard that before. But I mean, like, I've heard, certain black, people obviously denying their blackness. Obviously, like, it's very large in the Latino community. You know what I'm saying? The Spanish community, whatever, right? You know what I mean? Look, a lot of them niggas don't want to think that they have no nigga in them. Like, that's I had to deal with that personally firsthand. But I've never heard it. It's sort of a new term used in the late few years. Yeah, that's kind of weird though, because it's like, okay, now to be fair, because I did see a fact that, obviously African Americans are probably, out of all like the African or fused people, are one of the more least ones, apparently, because most African Americans are only up to 80% African. Versus other, like, Caribbeans and all that, they're more like 90, which makes more sense, obviously, right? But even still, nigga, you're 80% African, nigga. Like, nigga, you, yeah, bro. Like, like, yeah, nigga, you are black. Like, that That just makes no sense. Nigga, you are a nigga. Like, where do you think you got this from? There's no amount of Europeanism that can help you, bruh. Also, a lot of FBAs just hate African, Caribbean, or any others who are black and non-American. Yeah, that is true. But to be fair, it's also vice versa as well. We have to keep it a bug. Because there is a lot of specifically Africans that hate African Americans. They hate them. Caribbeans, same thing. Afro Latinos, they get it even worse. It's crazy. It gets very crazy. And I'm only gonna speak to this due to probably more personal experience. If I'm gonna be honest, I never got hate from any Africans, at least any of the Africans I knew, right? Because I know some Nigerians, I know some Ethiopians, I know some, you know what I mean? Like I know there's a large array of Africans I do know. I never really got that type of hate for real. Other than maybe like obviously the typical like y'all are like unappreciative and shit. But I ain't gonna lie, especially the Caribbeans, no get them boys, which y'all not even remotely even, y'all kind of on the same boat because y'all not, you know what I'm saying? Y'all 90%, but like, you know what I mean? It's a lot of hate. I don't understand it though. It's like, nigga, we all are like connected to, you know, the original shit. Now to be like, and people may not agree with this, but if we all agree that Africa is the center point of where human civilization started, right? We are all by default at least 1% African at most, right? How the fuck you gonna hate on people that we are all from the same place? It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all whatsoever. I don't get it, bruh. Especially, and my thing is this, I never really heard this from like African Americans flexing European features. Doesn't make no sense to me because most people, at least most niggas I know, you could fool me. I'm not gonna lie, you could fool me, bro. Like, nigga got 10% European features. Boy, you cannot tell. You cannot tell. I think if anything, most people also like to flex the Native American, like indigenous American thing too. I have heard of that because I don't know if niggas know this, but like in Black Americans specifically, since a lot of them have like a you know, indigenous ties as well, they like to say that they're like you know whatever, which high key is half true. It's half true because a lot of Black Americans do have Native American roots to a certain degree, or indigenous roots in America. But it's like, nigga, just because you like 2% Apache, my nigga, don't mean that you better than the nigga that got 1% alpaca. Like, that's nothing to flex, bro. Niggas don't realize, bro, 80%, up to 80% or 75%, whatever, 75%, 25% of that being anything else, you're not going to be able to tell. You cannot tell the difference. I'm sorry. You are no better because, you know what I'm saying? Like, your hair is not as curly as somebody else. Like, nigga, stop, bro. You still got to wear a bonnet. You still got to wear protective hairstyle, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Like, stop it, bro. Like, we got to stop this, bro.
Teach you that though. Why would they?
Fortunately, the U.S. school system has done a terrible job teaching us Black history. But yes, there were literal wars over the slave trade fought between Africans and Europeans, both on the continent and in the diaspora. I'm talking centuries of wars and battles over the slave trade.
Damn.
And actually, African leaders did come to the United States during the Civil Rights Movement
and
welcomed African Americans to the continent as well.
I did not know that. My name is Taharka Ade, an Africologist, scholar of Africa and the African diaspora. And many of you might have heard the notion espoused that Africans never looked for other Africans that were stolen away in the Atlantic slave trade. However, the truth is that Africans searched, paid ransoms, wrote kings, wrote governors.
Oh, damn.
Crossed oceans, and literally risked their lives to rescue people stolen away in the European trade of enslaved Africans. Here are a few examples.
Oh, hold on. I did not know this.
King Nyambana of Sierra Leone tried to rescue three relatives of his sold away to the West Indies. A leader in Guinea-Bissau wrote to the King of Portugal trying to rescue someone of importance to him. And King Gezo of Dahomey sent a delegation to the
Dahomey? Wait, where's Dahomey? Hold on, that's a fire name. Shout out to the homie.
I'm sorry. Someone believed to be his mother and had her returned.
Oh,
but it wasn't just kings and people in high places. For example, Shade Richards recalls the story of how his grandfather traveled from Africa all the way to Georgia in order to rescue his son Alfred. Though both men did not survive the journey, there's also the story of a father from Timbo who spent 4 years trying to recover his son Amado. Another story involves an ordinary man begging the governor to help free his friend Famara, as well as a young boy who had been sent away.
I'm not going to lie, because based on our history, at least American history, we were always taught, like I said earlier, right, that yes, like Africans sold their slaves, like Africans sold other African slaves to Europeans, and then that's how, you know, they got migrated to the coast and shit. And that's how we were taught, like at least that's how we were taught in America, at least. Like they never really specify like how it went, but it's more so like, yeah, these Europeans came in here, the African niggas was already waiting for them. Like, bro, this is dead ass like what my teacher has taught me. Like, bro, my teacher literally painted it like this. They were like, so the Europeans came to Africa, right? Not a specific country, by the way. It was just straight up, just random country, right? A coastal country, right? I think was it, I don't remember what country it was. I don't remember because that doesn't matter though. But basically, they were like, the Europeans came, right? The Africans were already. Yeah, it was West African countries, basically. But the Europeans came, right? The Africans were already just waiting there with slaves ready. And they just landed. They're like, okay, where's your best slaves? They're like, here, take these niggas. And they gave them money, and then they just left. And that's how it was. That's literally how they teach slavery. Like, that's literally how they teach slavery in America, bruh. Or at least the start of slavery. They're like, yeah, the Africans were just waiting for the Europeans. Like, the Europeans called them niggas. They're like, yeah, bro, hey, we got some slaves on sale. Half off type shit. You know what I mean? Come through to Sierra Leone or some shit. Nigeria or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? The Congo. You know what I mean? Like, come here. You know what I mean? We got some slaves on sale. You know what I'm saying? We got some light skins. We got some dark skins. We got the lankies. We got the talls. You know what I'm saying? We got the talls. You know what I'm saying? Like half off for real. And then they just waiting for like a pickup sale. Like it's like Facebook Market or some shit. And they just pick them up and then they ship them back and then they like go to America. And it's like, yeah, I don't think that's how that really went down for real. I never thought that's how it really went down. I don't think African countries were just like, here, we just have slaves ready to go already. Like, I'm pretty sure they had to go into the country, like, you know what I'm saying, find these niggas, right, get the best, whatever they thought they were the best of, and then start shipping them off to wherever they're gonna go type shit. I think it was more complicated, like, than them just like, but that's how they teach the start of slavery in America, like dead ass. Like, I kid you not, there was literally a video, I think I remember there was a video of literally of them like just standing on the countryside, just waving at the Europeans and just saying like, hey, and then just giving them people away. Like, bro, what the hell for some damn bushel or some, no, it was like, no, they traded the slaves for like chickens and cows and shit. I'm like, nigga, what? So you telling me they traded, the Europeans brought bread, chicken, and cows and roosters, and that is equivalent to 100 slaves. Boy, what the f is going on, nigga?
fathers crossing oceans,
that shit was
friends
crazy.
petitioning governors, people paying any ransom they could to return their loved ones.
I'm pretty sure it was more complicated than that, but the fact that they simplify it like that with no other detail is insane.
Crossing the Atlantic to retrieve a loved one would have been very, very difficult, and many would not have survived the journey. For more information on this, including more details on the information I've shared with you in this video, I encourage you to read.
That's also true, because they also teach you, obviously, because this is a stereotype, but it's funny how they had like a thing for a like, y'all know how the stereotype of black people that they can't swim is because they traveled across the ocean and they got seasickness, and all the generation got passed down due to that. So that's why we are not able to swim or some shit like that. I think that's how it went. That is insane. That's literally how that stereotype started. Like, this literally because they think because a lot of slaves died on the voyage to the America or the coastal countries or whatever. A lot of them died obviously due to, like, you know, motion sickness and all that other, like, scurvy and all that shit. And that gene got passed down to all future generations of African Americans specifically, right? And that's why a lot of niggas can't swim, because of that. That is, yeah. American history is actually fucked, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I really am glad that history is taught different in different places. Because if history was taught the same way, like it was taught in America, we would all be cooked, no cap.
Fighting the Slave Trade by Sivian Juf.
Now, y'all, let's get back on the topic of rappers and selling out. Young Thug.
I feel like I always wanted to do this type of music, and then I feel like rap is in like a weird like space right now, because it's just saying like everybody beefing, and it's just like some of the biggest, two of the biggest artists in the world, like Clash, and a lot of like the fucking ripple effect that came behind. Weird. I feel like
it's y'all King Slime.
I feel like we gotta like take it to the next level. We gotta level up, like AI, just so much, everything in the world leveling up except hip hop. Like niggas being like worse, like
everything leveling up but hip hop. Maybe just your music, buddy. You know, people have, the real rappers, they've been spitting. This is the same guy that dropped the album with him having a white face. He did.
You're king. I don't want to be one of those type of guys, but y'all can't say I was never consistent. I wasn't a big fan of Young Thug. I know he's just on tomfoolery. Like, dead ass. And it's kind of crazy now that everybody want to hate the nigga, but I'm like, bruh, ever since he started saying, you already knew he was already on tomfoolery, bro. He is my king, but that last album was tomfoolery. It's beyond tomfoolery. I don't know what it is, but ever since he got out of jail, he's just been moving more whack, bro. Like, Kodak got off of drugs. He's moving whack as hell. Nicki moving, well, she been moving like that. Young Thug got out of jail, moving whack as fuck, bro. It's like, I don't understand it. I don't get why y'all acting like this, like, at all, whatsoever. I don't get it. I just don't understand it, bro. You're no better than anybody else, bro. We are all niggas at the end of the day. The people that you're trying to seek approval for is not going to accept you. They just want you to talk, because if you say it, they don't seem crazy. And then once the goal is done, they're going to kick you aside just like the rest of them, bro. Oh, you thought you was going to be with us? Nah, bro. I mean, it was cool that you said all that shit, but you going to leave though, right? Like, yeah, nigga, yeah.
And had a song of him spamming the N-word with the hard R. And just to add icing on the cake, once he dropped the song,
I think Kodak is back on the drugs.
Aiden Ross stream. So he
well, that makes it even worse.
Already knew the audience that he was trying to garner. Racist ass white kids talking about the rap needs to level up. Nigga, you got out.
Oh yeah, also yeah, I'm gonna be honest. He was playing with a lean bottle in that clip about slavery. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Also, I wanted to say this because, like, how do I say this? It's really crazy how blind and ignorant this man Aiden is, bruh. I don't want to be that guy, but I have to, bruh. This man is very blind and ignorant to what's going on, bruh. I don't think and the thing is, I don't really think he's a bad person either. I like, if I wish, he acts like a 15-year-old. It's not even, I mean, I don't watch him, so I don't really know, but like, the reason why I say he's very blind and ignorant to his shit, because I remember when that whole shit was happening with him and Kai, and he was talking about, like, you know, when Kai was telling him that, you know, when every time a black person appears on your stream, they spam monkey emotes and shit like that. And he's like, no, that's just, that's just common. Like, that's just a common thing, and anybody gets that. They spam, they make Jewish jokes and all this shit. It's like, I don't understand how you don't realize, like, how bad that is, that you think people are cool enough to spam monkey emotes, especially when a nigga doesn't fuck with that shit and saying that it's just a part of the internet shit. And it's like, I can go on plenty of streams where I see people who are like you that also have people that are of color not do that same exact thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and for you to just simply just downplay it as, oh, it's just an internet thing. That shit always threw me off, because I'm like, bro, like, it's not just an internet thing. Like, it's not, it's not normal, bro. It's like, just allowing something that's weird just because it's considered normal. Yeah, because we done got desensitized to what, like, people. And even still, because, like, also I remember, because I know this is going to get off topic, but, like, the whole mental thing with when Kai was going on. First of all, the hate that Kai is getting for grieving his mental health is actually insane. We as a society, once again, have lost touch in what the true message is going on here, bruh. I just don't understand how it's gotten that bad, bro. And people think that I might, like, I'm trying to, like, you know, not bootlick, but trying to, like, I'm on dick or some shit. But I'm like, bruh, this is a real man going through real issues, bruh. This is a real man going through real issues, right? And when a nigga tell you, right, because niggas want to hear both sides. When a nigga tell you he feels offended about something and you telling me, suck it up, this is just a part of the internet, and you know it's racist, but it's normal, you normalizing racism, bro, that doesn't, like, you can't do that, bruh. You can't normalize this shit and then try to, like act like it's not of a big of a deal when you're not that, when you're not the demographic that it affects. Like, it's just crazy how people are like that, bruh. That's not a normal thing you do. Spamming monkey and banana emotes or watermelon emotes when a nigga appears is not internet speak, bro. That is just pure blatant racism, bro. Like, stop it, bruh. Because I guarantee you, if an Asian person pop up on the screen and y'all started spamming rice and shit, like rice emotes and shit like that, you know what I mean? I don't think they're taking it as, oh, that's just the internet. No, they'll be like, nigga, that's racist. Like, what? That's racist, bruh. That's racist as hell, because it is. We gotta stop doing that, bro. These are humans. Stop acting like people aren't, like, have no right to feel no way that they don't feel, especially when you're out here, like, spamming that, bro. Like, bro, what the fuck? I wish I could make a equivalent to that for white people, but you can't, because it won't offend them, bro. Like, what am I gonna do? Spam cracker emotes? Like, like mayo? Like, I don't even know if those even exist. I think you have to literally make those. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
out of jail and
come on,
bro. Bullshit. Now, another rapper, y'all, 21 Savage. He started this whole movement on Twitter that I can kind of get behind, but I'm going to just explain my problem with it. So, for one, he went on Twitter and basically started telling, like, a lot of people to squash their beef. As you can see, he added Gunna and Young Thug. He said, y'all,
he's about to read it.
That. Y'all love each other. You knew Gunna wasn't no gangster when he told the first time and we subbed it under the rug for you. You knew he wasn't trying to leave you to hang. If the streets, we ain't get nothing but trauma from that. Over 48,000 likes. He also added Quavo and Offset. Y'all tell the world I put y'all in a group text and told y'all squash it before it even got far. If y'all was still together, y'all would be unstoppable. And you know, he just went on a whole, like, I guess trying to.
What the? This man trying to. You know what? I respect it though. I respect it though. I see nothing wrong with that. He's just trying to, you know, make amends.
Make peace with everybody. Future, I apologize, my brother. I should have called you first.
Is that Phantom Blade Zero?
Yada, yada. I mean, it's a good thing, but it just feels performative. Like, why would you bring this to Twitter?
Oh,
like, just keep it in, you know? And he said something interesting in that Young Thug tweet. He said, F the streets. He started a whole.
Wait, why is he saying it's performative? Was this around when he was, when the album came out? Because if he started tweeting that shit when the album came out, I could understand that. But if it was like anytime during the first week, oh yeah, never mind, I can see it. But you know, a positive still a positive no matter what. But I can see why you said that, bro. If it's around the week of your album coming out, yeah, I could kind of see that.
Movement, a whole bunch of rappers started, you know, saying the same thing. We had G Herbo, Pooh Shiesty.
He doesn't even tweet that much usually.
And it's a cool movement to get behind, but words without actions mean nothing. And I'm gonna be so 100. If y'all saying F the streets, what are y'all going to rap about now? 21 Savage, what are you going to rap about now? You know, I don't want to hear you rapping about shooting nobody after this.
Say this carefully because
I don't know if we listened to the album, and I don't think he was really saying. I don't think he was. Wait, hold on. He was dissing somebody though, for real. If I'm not mistaken, there is a diss track in the album. I forgot what song it was, but that's besides the point, though. That is true. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear you talking about. Didn't even listen to it. Well, to be fair, I was barely listening to it, but I do remember him dissing somebody. I could be wrong though. Just heard snippets and it was just some stuff he usually says. 21. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's possible at all for people to, at least these type of rappers, the hood rappers, or street rappers. You literally can't stop rapping about the streets because it's literally in the name. Like, what are you going to rap about? Nobody wants to hear G Herbo rap about stocks. Sorry. Like, nobody wants to hear 21 Savage talk about, you know, rap about, let's be real. Talk about financing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or even love, honestly. I think, because to be fair, a lot of 21 Savage's like least played songs are his more lovey-dovey type of songs that he started to do because of Drake. Niggas is not trying to hear that, bruh. And like I said, and don't get it twisted. I'm not with the street shit at all whatsoever. Y'all know me. I like to expand my horizon. There's a lot more rap than just the street rappers. But let's be real. A lot of the mainstream rappers are the niggas that live the quote-unquote street life. Let's just keep it a buck. Because people love hearing people dissing niggas and beefing with niggas and shooting niggas. So when you don't talk about any of them shits, you can't make a TikTok out of that. You can't make a meme out of that. Can't do none of that. So what are y'all gonna do? Like, dead ass. Like, what are y'all gonna do? Like real talk, what are y'all gonna do? This is why my glorious King J. Cole is the GOAT. You know what I mean? Maybe some of y'all might need a pivot. I don't know. The underground rappers, they cool on that. You know what I'm saying? Osama-san don't gotta rap about that. You know what I mean? My GOAT, Osama-san and Che don't gotta rap about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They can rap about a lot of other things, bro. It's up for you street rappers, bro. Maybe y'all need to start doing some other shit, bro. I don't know.
I know how the internet gets. But when rappers, especially mainstream rappers, start saying fuck the streets, I think that's lazy and I think it's dangerous. Not because the streets are good, not because the streets don't destroy lives, but because words without plans don't liberate people, they abandon them.
Hey, preach, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Preach, my brother. That's what I was trying to articulate the best way, because I don't want to sound ignorant. Oh, you out here advocate. No, it's not that's not the point. It's like, y'all ain't I can say don't do something, but then I still do it. That don't mean that I'm making a change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
But to be fair, a lot of niggas have been doing that already. That's already existed. Like there has been many of those. Prime example, NLE Chopper, right? Let's just keep it a buck. I don't want to do it. NLE Chopper. He's primary suspect number one. Because this nigga literally started off with the street rap. Then he had turned into a weird phase, right? And then the weird monk phase. And then all of a sudden he had the sex phase. And now he's beefing with niggas again and making quote unquote street rap songs again. Blueface. The list can continue, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, this is very inconsistent. Especially a lot of the I feel like unironically, the only person that I know that has really kept their word to that is unironically NBA Youngboy. Literally the most like, I know that sounds crazy, but if you really think about it, NBA Youngboy is probably the only nigga who says he does not want to talk about violence and all that shit ever again, and has not did it ever since he said that. And he had a whole 2 albums that came out with none of that shit, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't listened to him, but all the songs that I did hear, that nigga not talking about drilling a nigga, killing a nigga, none of that shit. He not doing none of that shit no more. So, I don't know, man. It might be a skill issue.
When a rapper who's made it out says fuck the streets, the message doesn't land on politicians, city council, or systems. It lands on the kids still in it. And to them, it doesn't sound like growth. It sounds like I got mine, you're on your
Literally.
own.
Oh, okay.
That's different from accountability. That's disassociation. And disassociation feels empowering to the person who was.
Instead, tell them, like, you know, it's other ways out the street instead of what I was rapping about. But you are, like I say, you done got yours, now you getting up out. Like, no.
Okay, from that point of view, I understand. Yeah, I understand that.
Like G Herbo talking about F the streets, bruh. You damn near made the whole drill era, my boy. Come on, man.
Unironically, he literally did. He literally did. Him, Chief Keef, and Lil Durk literally all started the drill movement. These are literally key component of drill niggas. Let's just keep it a buck. They literally all started from the same place, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy. You know what? You know one person that I feel like does a decent job at it though, and y'all love to make fun of him. And I haven't heard his new album yet, but from the past albums, ever since he really kind of got out of that lifestyle, Polo G. Now I know a nigga somewhere is laughing. Piano Keys, Piano G, like, but dead ass. I think Polo G probably, you know what I'm saying? Polo G was one of them ones, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that shit is so disingenuous, bro.
Escape, but devastating to the people still trapped. Because now the streets aren't just dangerous, they're worthless. And once you tell people they're worthless, they stop trying to protect anything. That's how you get more violence, not less. Here's the other issue. Fuck the streets sounds revolutionary, but it actually avoids responsibility.
Right.
It skips the hard part. The hard part is saying I survived something broken, and now I have a responsibility not to romanticize it or abandon it. There's a difference between rejecting lifestyles and rejecting the people shaped by it. You can say, I don't glorify street culture anymore. That's growth. Right. You can say, I don't want kids thinking this is the only way. That's leadership.
Right.
But when you just say, fuck the streets with no follow-up, no plan, no framework, that's not wisdom. That's a mic drop with no cleanup. And we've seen better ways to do this, real examples. You don't have to fund every block to be responsible. You don't have to save everybody. But you can redirect without shitting on people. Some artists stop using street talk in their music entirely and pivot to ownership, business, and family narratives. That's silent leadership. Others invest in trade programs, recording studios.
I'm gonna be honest. I agree with everything this man's saying. I see nothing. I do think though, and maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this from a glass half full, empty type shit. I do think when some rappers say it, I don't think they mean like literally fuck the streets type shit. Maybe it's just a wording, right? Because fuck the streets, I think they mean well. And seeing it from his point of view, I understand why not saying fuck the streets, is a bad thing. I think the rappers are probably the same way where they're like, I don't really mean it like, fuck the streets. I'm just saying like, I'm basically saying what you're saying, just not saying it as well thought out as you're saying, if that makes any sense.
Or local businesses that hire people who would otherwise be written off. That's practical help. Some mentor behind the scenes and never post it.
Yep.
That's maturity. Notice what they don't do. They don't insult the environment that shaped them just to prove they've outgrown it.
Yeah,
because
I
growth
do.
Doesn't require disrespect.
Okay, yeah, I do agree that though. Yeah, because you can. I feel like people shouldn't. You don't be ashamed of where you come from. That's just a part of your journey. Like we literally were talking about this earlier, but it's like don't be afraid to show. Like you came from a situation a lot of people in this world can't even, imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like where you from, bruh? That makes sense. Don't be afraid of where you're from, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to shit on the place it is. Who movement that is? What? Rep the big A. I rep the big P. Okay. Nobody calls it the big A, bruh. Okay. And like I said, where you're from versus where you... When I mean where you're from is where you was raised in. You know what I'm saying? Not where you lived. Where you were raised in, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Growth requires replacement. If you're done with the streets, cool. But what are you replacing them with? What's the alternative you're offering? Because tearing down an identity without offering a new one creates confusion. And confused people don't heal, they spiral. So no, the answer isn't stay loyal to the streets. And it's not fuck the streets either. The answer is, I understand where I came from. I understand why it's broken.
Time to
elevate.
elevate.
And I'm intentional about not feeding the cycle. And that
isolation brings elevation. Who said that? You get $50,000 in V-Bucks.
That's how you evolve without erasing people. That's how you escape without slamming the door behind you. And that's how influence actually becomes leadership.
Gates.
Listen, my message to all of my young black men, bro, stop looking up to all of these entertainers, even content creators. There are so many ways to make it in America, bro. You can go get you a trade, becoming a plumber, electrician. Like, college is great. Don't let anybody tell you that shit, bro. Like, it's so many ways to get it, man. I do videos all the time highlighting a lot of...
I will say, he may disagree with me on this, but college is cool, but don't go to college if your profession doesn't require it, because that's literally just a waste of money. That's just the honest truth. Like, college is cool for people who already know what they want to do and their profession requires college. Because you can gain a lot of experience through college, whatever. You know what I'm saying? With friends and all that shit, social, whatever type shit. But if you have a feeling that college is not right for you, and your profession doesn't require it, and when I mean your profession, the thing that you ultimately want to do with your life, if college is not in that plan, don't go to college. Because it's literally just a waste of time and money. Trust me. I know. I'm just letting niggas know. Don't get it, like, bro, do whatever your heart feels that you want to do. If you want to go to college, you can go to college. It ain't bad, depending on where you go. But it ain't bad. But don't go unless if in your heart of hearts, you feel like it's not going to do anything for you. I would hate to see somebody waste their time going to somewhere because somebody else told you to go there. And you realize it's not for you. But hey, you do what you want to do. It's your money. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do.
Positivity within the black community, man. I've been seeing so many black pilots, black doctors, black dentists, and it's like, bro, we could do anything, man. Our ancestors fought for us to do this shit. No more talking, though,
shout out to all them niggas,
if
bro.
y'all want to see something similar to this, go check out this video right here, man.
Yeah, I saw this video. That was pretty fire, man. Niggas don't have to be rappers and basketball players. You can be politicians. You can do whatever you want, bro. The world is your oyster. You can make manga. You can make cartoons. You know what I'm saying? You could be you don't have to be a barber. You don't have to be a barber or a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Or a football player, bro. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You can do way more. A scientist. An AV. Honestly, real talk though, I think it's also people, like, I think it's also, we gotta also, like, anoint and, like, give this same level of praise to people that are not in the zeitgeist like that. I think that's another big step for us, especially niggas, to do. Because when you think of other professions, there's a lot of, like, niggas that are not really mentioned for real. If I'm gonna just be honest, like, compared to, like, other people, like, who's the biggest, most popular, you know, whatever, like, you know, celebrity or whatever, and that's you, like, you know, niggas and shit, we all involved in that. But anytime somebody asks you who's, like, some of the best, like, doctors and shit in the world, a nigga is never mentioned. Or pilots or a scientist or people who are, like, in these other fields that, like, don't really get highlighted as much between in niggas in the nigga community. I think we need to start doing that a lot more, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Let's shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson, bruh. Unironically, shout out that man, bruh. He's probably one of the most litest black people that does not have to do with anything music related or sports related or entertainment, bruh. Unironic. Okay, maybe Martin Luther King, but even still, Neil deGrasse Tyson might be the most litest black person outside of the pop culture, like, media type shit. Something to do with real world shits, bro. Like, shout out that man Neil, bro. That's my goat, man. That's my goat. But that was a rather interesting video. And if my sister ever sees this, I want you to know, Nikki, please stop. That's all I'm gonna say. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop, bro. I beg of you. I just beg. Please. All right. Now, with that being said, are we done with woke talks? We done with woke talks? What time is it? Oh, Lord. We were supposed to watch a movie. Oh, well. Wait, should we talk about this Ty Little shit, bruh? Because I don't think we're going to watch a movie. Because I will say, I don't know too much about it, but I did see that he had a response video. I don't even know what was initially said. I don't even know what's going on. If you want to. The reason why I say that, because I saw the response video he had, And it had me feeling a type of way. And maybe I might not be the right person to say this, but I really fuck with him, bro. This shit is kind of crazy. But I don't know if is there like a video explaining it though? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just seeing a lot of people just clown this girl now. Wait, nigga thief Chalamet. Wait.